أريد أن أبني جامعاً إذا غرقت مصر بقى وإذا احترقت بقى ويكون من مال حلال. Hello, my name is Alia and today I'm going to take you on a journey to the Ibn Tulun Mosque. Built atop a small mountain called Yashkar, now known as Al-Mu'attam, it is currently acknowledged as the oldest historical mosque in Cairo, one that has preserved its old structure without grand changes to it. It was the third largest mosque as well as the third oldest mosque in not only Egypt but Africa as a whole, making it one of the oldest mosques in the continent. The mosque's founder Ahmad ibn Tulun ordered it to be built as a part of establishing his Tulunid dynasty and to separate it from the currently existing Abbasid dynasty. He started building it in 877 AD and it was complete in the Ramadan of 879 AD. It had cost him a total of 120,000 dinars that he paid for from his own money, well, from a treasure he found near the pyramids. One of the most famous things about this mosque is the story of the architect behind it. While there's so much debate with historians on who actually built the mosque, some people believe it was the builder of the Nilometer in Roda, Cairo, and others believe that it's Sa'id al-Faraghani, a Coptic architect. And since the consensus seems to be on Sa'id al-Faraghani, we're going to follow through with his story. It is said that Ibn Tulun had wanted a well of sorts to be built, and al-Faraghani was in charge of the project. Once it was complete, al-Faraghani asked Ibn Tulun to come and give it a look, only to his bad luck when Ibn Tulun came, he stepped on a part of quicklime that was still wet, and that made him believe that Sa'id al-Faraghani had wished him ill and had made an attempt on his life. So al-Faraghani was lashed and imprisoned for his supposed wrongdoings. Later on, when Ibn Tulun had decided on finally building this mosque, he was told it would require 300 columns, and the only way to get them would be from rundown churches and monasteries, which he personally refused to do. However, when al-Faraghani, who was still incarcerated at the time, found out about this, he immediately wrote to Ibn Tulun, letting him know that he can get it done with only 2 columns for the Qibla. Hearing this, Ibn Tulun visited him in prison, where al-Faraghani sketched out his idea and how he would execute it. Intrigued by his confidence, Ibn Tulun decided to give him one more chance to redeem himself, in exchange for a reward if he succeeds. Lucky for al-Faraghani, this time around he was more successful in impressing Ibn Tulun. When Ibn Tulun came to see his final work and al-Faraghani showed him, he liked what he saw. Immediately after, al-Faraghani raced up to the minaret and climbed it. Then, as loud as he could, he demanded immunity and that Ibn Tulun keep his promise of rewarding him. Not only did Ibn Tulun keep his promise, but he also set him free and helped him grow financially from there on out. Unfortunately for Ibn Tulun though, when the mosque was officially complete during Ramadan, which let me tell you would be the perfect time to complete a mosque, no one wanted to come pray there because they were suspicious of the source of the money he used to build it in the first place. So he gathered them all around to reassure them that the money was gotten by halal means and that he found the treasure near the pyramids and paid for the resources for the mosque with it. It was only then that people finally believed in him and decided to come and pray there. The idea behind the mosque was for it to be a sanctuary for those who need it, as well as for it to be able to withstand both floods and fires, as with the previous quote I recited at the beginning of this video. أريد أن أبني جامعاً إذا غرقت مصر بقى وإذا احترقت بقى ويكون من مال حلال. and from the fact that it still stands to this day, we can safely say it succeeded in accomplishing its role, though there was a period of time where that was debatable. In fact, one of the interesting stories around this mosque took place in the year 1293 AD, where Egypt's ruler at the time, Sultan Ibn Tulun, was assassinated, and Prince Hussam ad-Din Lajin, a man who was originally bought as a slave and not only freed by Ibn Tulun and was also made to be the ruler of Damascus by him, was framed for the murder. In search of a place to hide, he found the then barren and abandoned mosque and hid in its minaret. But back then the minaret wasn't quite steady and swayed with his movements left and right. That's when Hussam ad-Din Lajin prayed to God that if he ever found a way to get out of this mess, he would personally see to it that this mosque and minaret were renovated and brought back to their previous glory. And to his good luck, Lajin was not only exonerated from the crime, he was also made to be the Sultan of Egypt. And though no one but God had heard his vow, he did keep his word. There's some debate on the origins of the minaret itself. Some claim it was built at the same time. Others say that because it used a different architectural style to the rest of the mosque, it was added on much later. I'm not sure which was right, but perhaps it was Lajin's improvement on the then falling apart mosque. As for those who want to visit this mosque and to climb the minaret, depending on the weather that day, it may or may not be closed. Though if you have health issues or have a fear of heights, you might want to skip that part of the visit anyway. I'm honestly not that healthy and wanted to opt out, but my friend insisted I join her. So, encouraged by two spry Indonesian tourists who kept encouraging us all the way up, we managed to make it up there, and the view of Old Cairo was glorious. Honestly, I felt really pathetic climbing up there, all out of breath, feeling like death, especially with the tourists doing it without breaking into sweat. Oh, we made it! Up there! I nearly died, but I managed. But then I recently watched Lost LeBlanc's video in Cairo, and he too sounded out of breath climbing up there.
Just a little further. Woo! Are we there? We made it!
So I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel a little better about myself. So, fun fact about this mosque. It appeared in a scene from one of the James Bond movies, The Spy Who Loved Me. And it also appeared in a game called Serious Sam 3, which I personally didn't play but found out about from Wikipedia.
Cleared out.
I read it was also in one of the Tomb Raider video games, but I couldn't find it in any of the game walkthroughs on YouTube. I mean, they did say it was the mosque from beneath, but I didn't say the under part of the mosque, and I don't really think that's available for tourists. I really have no idea, so I can't vouch for that myself. And to show you how important it is in general to Egyptian history, the mosque can be found right here on this £5 note. I don't think there's a fee to enter this mosque, at least no one asked us for anything, only that we don't enter with our shoes on. So you either take them off or buy one of those plastic shoe covers for £5, I think. As for filming, I don't think it's allowed. I know it's weird for me to say that after showing you all of this footage, but no one said anything as I got out my camera and wandered around filming. So I assumed it was fine. It wasn't until I was done filming downstairs and started filming the view from the minaret that the guy that took us up there said we weren't allowed to do so. Apparently you're only allowed to take photos with your phone. From Lost LeBlanc's video and what I heard in the background being said, definitely try not to bring in some big equipment if you want to film inside. Try to be stealthy with your phone is all I can say here. The best part about this mosque though is that it's stuck to the Geir Anderson Museum. So you can go for 2 historical sites with different significance on the same day. But that's a place for another video. Anyhow, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, click on the subscribe button and maybe even the bell button if you don't want to miss out on anything new. That's it for now. أشوفكم بعدين. مع السلامة.